It seems like everybody's talking about melatonin. Thankfully here in the UK, it's still a prescription medication, but in countries like the US, you can buy high-strength melatonin whilst waiting in line at your local grocery store. Is this bad? Is it safe to take every night? And out of the plethora of choices available, which is best suited for you to take? Let's find out. Hey friends, it's Pharmacist Show here, where I look at some of the most popular nootropics and supplements on the market and cut through the science to uncover the truth. Now, melatonin might sit on the shelf right next to all the other supplements, but it's not a supplement at all. It's actually a hormone, which our bodies already naturally produces. As the day moves from light to dark, deep within our brains, the pineal gland secretes melatonin in a way to prepare us for sleep. So it makes sense that if you're elderly or you're suffering from a condition like dementia, taking melatonin may help you sleep. But what about the average person? What about the shift worker that's working through the night? The person facing a challenge in their life that's keeping them awake? Or the chronic pain sufferer who can't get comfy and doesn't feel rested after a night's sleep? Can they use melatonin as a short-term sleep aid to get them back into a normal rhythm? The answer is yes. Melatonin is a good short-term sleep aid that can be used by most people. The good news is that you can't build up a tolerance by taking melatonin like you can with certain sleeping pills. There's very few side effects. Taking melatonin does not affect your body's natural ability to produce it. There's multiple studies that show taking melatonin doesn't alter your body's natural ability to produce it. I've seen plenty of anecdotal evidence of people safely taking melatonin, but I wanted to look beyond that. I wanted to know what the research was saying. Looking at a meta-analysis of melatonin for the treatment of primary sleep disorders, there's 3 key areas where melatonin has shown to improve sleep. Sleep latency, which just means the time taken to fall asleep, and the meta-analysis carried out demonstrated that overall this improved on average by 7 minutes. Melatonin also increased total sleep time compared to placebo. People took melatonin had an average of a total sleep time of 8 minutes longer than people who didn't. And finally, sleep quality. Melatonin demonstrated a significant effect in improving sleep quality compared to placebo. Now I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing too. The time it takes to fall asleep is improved only by 7 minutes, and the total time that you're asleep is only improved by 8 minutes. Now I think that's pretty disappointing, but it's important to remember that melatonin is still a food supplement in a lot of countries, so you're not going to get the large-scale funding that you would get for prescription medication. So a lot of the trials are being performed on small patient groups, so you've got to take the trial data with a pinch of salt. Next, I wanted to look at what was the dose that was safe to take. I found a review whose aim was to look at the safety of taking melatonin at higher doses, specifically looking at doses of 10 milligrams and above. What they found was that taking 10 milligrams and above didn't increase the risk of suffering from adverse reactions. So the general widespread belief is that taking melatonin is safe. Melatonin has been proven to be very safe with a very short list of side effects. In fact, only headaches and nausea have been reported as side effects. I've made a list of common interactions. It's not an exhaustive list, so if you're considering taking melatonin, please speak to your healthcare provider. Make sure that it won't interact with your regular meds. The list that I've compiled, all the drugs will have an additive effect, i.e. will increase the feeling of sedation. Melatonin is safe to take if you've got a short-term issue with sleep. Alongside a proper sleep hygiene routine, it may be a good way for you to reset your sleep pattern. However, if you're suffering from a long-term sleep issue, it might be worth speaking to your doctor first, because the research isn't there on the long-term effects of us taking melatonin. And if you've tried melatonin and it hasn't worked, it could be a sign that you're deficient in magnesium. Supplementing with magnesium has shown a lot of promise in its potential to help with sleep. And if you want, I've done a whole video about it, so check after this. Alright guys, thanks for watching, see you then.